Hey everybody, welcome to Talking Stocks with Dr. J, Professor Spike and Kamal. It was an interesting day on Wall Street, a nice big green candle for a change as we
Nice.
bail out Republic Bank with 30 billion.
Well, we're giving them liquidity, so
The
maybe they.
question is, how many banks can we bail out with 30 billion? That's the question.
Well, they'll take 30 billion today, but gladly pay you back on Tuesday.
Yeah. And meanwhile, Credit Suisse got bailed out by Switzerland. So, I mean, again, how long can you continue? The first few that fold, you can bail out. If it's contagion, you can't continue.
So you think that there will be more banks?
I don't know, but
This was like why it was a good idea to get COVID early in the year instead of late in the year.
yeah, I really don't know. I'm sure there are other banks that made bad bets. That's really what it amounts to. They made bad bets. And do we have to, as taxpayers, do we have to bail out banks that made bad bets? Well, maybe we do. Otherwise we're in for a collapse of the economy.
Yeah, because the cost of not bailing them is much higher than bailing them out. Isn't that the model?
I guess that's,
Yes.
but at some point you can't. Like at Lehman, they had to let it fold. I guess they could have bailed Lehman out too, but they didn't. And look what happened. Maybe they should have bailed Lehman out in retrospect.
Right.
Yeah. Well, that was Goldman sticking it to Lehman.
Well, not only Goldman, but it wasn't personal with Paulson hated fold, didn't he?
Yeah, but that's like the administration at the time had more Goldman people in it, so they were more.
Well, Paulson was the Secretary of Treasury, and he was the former Goldman.
Yeah, exactly.
I hate when personalities get into cloud judgment.
Right.
That's life.
It was like that commercial where the Duke guy got the best hotel.
But that's ancient history. Right now, we're experiencing another bank crisis, financial crisis. I sold half my BAC, even though I know it's a safe bank, because it's not going anywhere. I figured I bought more Microsoft. Might as well put it to better use. I got excited about Microsoft today. When I got a notice that my Bing search engine from my Edge browser is now Chat GPT.
Yeah. Well, unless they like you say, I want to find this particular website, and they're like, no, we think you really want this website.
But this is what we need to get biotech rolling again. Andrew is alerting us to
Oh
fear.
yeah, no, PRVB then that did well, right?
Yeah, they got bought by Sanofi. And AUPH and BCRX are next on the block, maybe.
Oh, fingers crossed.
Yeah. Although I must say I'm out of most of my BCRX. I started the year with 48 stocks. I liquidated about six of them, and I trimmed another five. So, but when I trimmed, I moved it into other positions. And I'm looking very carefully at monthly spreadsheets to help me with my money management. So I have, since the new year, January, February, and of course March. I put more weight on the current month as we get further into the current month. So in terms of negative movement, that's how I've been analyzing it lately. And if I had just left everything alone from the beginning of the year, I'd be winning half of what I'm winning.
Uh,
So I'm actually pretty pleased with my money management. I'm almost of the opinion now that it didn't matter which 48 stocks I started with. It's the money management is more important than what stocks you own, as long as you own decent quality.
Well, that's the old asset classes versus specific assets theory.
That too.
And basic tenet, which is the one you're violating, is don't time the market, but you have to.
You do, because the old trend is your friend is very true. The trend is your friend, and you can't, another adage, you can't fight the tape, right?
Right, exactly. Well, you've always been a momentum kind of investor anyway, so
Pretty much.
yeah, so it's consistent with what you typically do.
Although when I day trade, I make a few day trades lately with the day spider options, the daily. I look for reversals because this market is so topsy-turvy. It changes direction like 9 times in one week.
Oh, volatility, bet the VIX.
My theory with taking profit is if you're in certain kind of stocks that you don't want to sit with forever, take the profit.
You might as well, right?
Yeah. Let it ride on the Amazons and the Googles, for
Yeah,
example.
and Apple
Right.
today did well as well.
Which
Let it
one?
ride on the Amazon and the Googles. Take your profits on the BioDrec.
On the right, or on the even nowadays the lithium plays are starting to sort of fizzle down.
Yes, I'm tempted to, not tempted. I will be selling trimming some soon, as I'm seeing more and more negativity in RMAX, whatever it's called.
And lit also. I mean, the problem is that if all this stuff portends slower growth, then people aren't going to be looking for their electronic truck fleet.
Well,
They'll-
Tesla,
they won't be as
Tesla
big.
also, after doubling, Tesla has slowed down and gone into reverse.
Hmm.
So Tesla is leading the play down. And I got rid of all my Fisker because it was just performing dreadfully bad.
Do you still have any charge point?
No, I'm trying to get rid of anything that isn't quality. I still own some spec, but
Well, you're
not.
still on CRISPR. That hasn't shown itself to do anything yet.
CRISPR's not been doing great, but it's not been doing that bad. And I'm still in. I got out of Beam. I have
You
no.
got out of Beam?
I have zero Beam. I have zero Editas. I only have CRISPR and Intellia.
Okay.
Of course, this is just what my opinions are, not necessarily correct opinions. Maybe the place to be is Beam and Editas. I could have it exactly wrong. But the way I see it for now, I'm rather go with CRISPR and Intellia. Our friend we had on the show, Gene Investing, prefers Beam and Intellia.
I can tell you, right?
And Kamal, do you have a position in any of the gene editing plays?
Nope.
No position. And you're still 100% in. You didn't touch your BCRX position.
Nope. I did not touch it. I have thousands of shares of that one.
I trimmed it severely. I have like 1/8 left.
No, I'm still holding mine. I trimmed a little bit when it went up the first time it hit that 18, but after that, I should have done all of it, right?
Linus wants us to talk about AMD.
Yeah,
We'll chart.
bad.
Let's get into some charts.
Sure.
I want to look at Microsoft. I want to look at SPY. We could look at AMD. I drew a descending channel. We're clearly in a downtrend now, as you can see, a series of lower highs and lower lows. So the short term is down. This big candle today brought us to the top, more or less the top of the channel. Of course, I could have drawn the top a little bit higher than I drew it.
Right.
So it may have a little more room to go before it comes back down. I'm thinking 400 might be an even number that to trim a little SPY and play it on the short side for a day trade, maybe. Of course, again, our opinions are strictly our own and not investment advice. Welcome to all those who are live, and welcome to all those that are watching replay. I'd like to welcome people. Otherwise, they think I don't like them. That's quite the opposite. We love people. Of course, I don't advertise anymore, so it's hard to find us. I
Well,
don't
if you're a
advertise.
subscriber,
I'd have one little announcement on Stock Twits under SPY with a link. Today's announcement was particularly brief. I just gave a link. So that's why not too many people are finding us. And that's fine, because those who are finding us really want to know what you have to say. So what I have to say is I think we're going to continue in this channel for a little while longer. How much longer? Maybe all the way down to 375 before we start moving up again. I think we have definitely turned negative short term, and it's definitely due to black swan type events, but you don't know what the next shoe to drop is. And of course, if several shoes drop, Mike Wilson will not be wrong. It will hit 300 or lower.
Huh.
It has that kind of potential to instill panic in the investor. So you got to stay nimble in this market. You're going to get big swings in both directions, and I think you have to trade it a little bit. It's hard to be just a buy and hold type, except for stocks like Google and Amazon. I guess you ride it out if you like. I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to do if it starts getting really rough. I'll probably trim as it goes down. I usually add as it goes up, so I'll trim as it goes down. That's my natural tendency anyway. I don't like to do major things. I don't like to do. In other words, I don't like to liquidate my position. I have done that on occasion, but not too often. I like gradual movements. You can always fix gradual movements. You can't fix major movements so easily. So if you're wrong, you can. It's kind of like edging it into when you change lanes. I like to edge. So in case I have someone in my blind spot, it's not the end. You know what I mean? Is that a bad analogy? I think it's a good analogy.
No, I like it.
You can always come back into your lane if you're wrong. So you don't go all hog into a position. You don't go all hog out of a position. At least I don't. As a general rule. The rules, of course, are made to be broken. Microsoft. So what my thinking here is, we may challenge this area about 376. We may actually. What I'd like to see is that this little moat between 376 and 375 not be broken. So I'd like to be really smart and call 376 and then a turnaround. 376 coincides with about April 3rd, according to my descending channel.
So you don't think this is gonna be going up?
I think we'll get the ups and the downs within the channel, but it'll drift down to 376. Professor Omar is calling 380. which we actually hit.
Yeah,
Right there,
for a moment.
313. He thinks that we'll hit it again, and then he's looking for 410 as as a bounce, and then he thinks we could be in for a big drop to like 320. So there's a lot of pessimism.
He's holding on to his long-term down opinion.
No, his real long-term opinion is very bullish, but he thinks we're going to go down to quite a bit before we make new highs.
Gotcha.
Kind of like Mike Wilson. Mike Wilson said 2024 we could be making new highs. Maybe he's been talking to Mike Wilson. No, I don't know. Bitcoin had a pretty good day.
Yeah, it did happen.
I trimmed a little of my Bitcoin, not too much. There are, of the 48 stocks that I began the year with, I think I'm totally out of about a half a dozen of them and severely trimmed another 4 or 5. So, and I've replaced a couple, I added a couple of new positions. So I made some changes. Let's look at Microsoft and AMD.
Sounds good.
Again, I'm very excited about having received the notification that my Bing browser, my Edge browser now has enhanced Bing together with the ChatGPT. I'm not home, so I don't have my browser to play with, but when I get home, I'm going to look at that. I think Microsoft could put a hurt on Google. It came right up to the previous pivot today. Very big, solid green candle. Tomorrow looks like a day where we could be giving back a little.
Right.
Well, it's one day at a time, though, in the market, right? One day at a time. Next week is the fickle Fed. Is the fickle Fed going to hold rates steady? Are they going to cut it? Are they going to raise it? And by how much? I've heard people say they're going to cut by a quarter. They're going to hold. They're going to hike by a quarter. They're going to hike by a half. Those are the big predictions. You have any feelings on that, guys?
I think it's going to be half a point.
Oh, you think they'll, just like the European Bank?
Yep.
Well, I think so too, actually. Although, I mean, now this whole thing about raising them too high and screwing up the banks might give them pause, but I don't know. I think a half also.
Well, what happened today, the European Bank, they decided that if they did anything but what they said they were going to do, it would instill fear. Why are they pausing? You know what I mean? The kind of reverse psychology. Is that reverse psychology or reverse of the reverse?
I know that you know.
Yeah.
That I know.
So if we hold and we don't raise, then you're going to think that things are really bad. But if we raise anyway, we're going to screw things up worse, but you'll think it's good. Is that the logic?
Kind of, yes.
Maybe. Personally, I think they do the quarter. That's my guess. Just a guess. And I was watching Bloomberg, and the chief economist over at MasterCard said even Powell doesn't know today what they're going to do next week. Such a fluid situation. And I believe that's correct. If you ask Jay Powell, what's your intent for Wednesday, he's going to say, I don't know, we'll look at the data on Tuesday. And then we'll decide.
Makes sense. I mean, I don't blame him.
Yeah. All right. So what's my thinking on this one? I think you should buy the dip if we get one. I think we will get one. Let's say we get one to the middle of today's candle, 270, something like that. I'm looking to add at around 270 to Microsoft. I've been adding in general to Microsoft, so I'm going to continue probably to add. I would like to see it take this old high out from 28, 276. I want that to go away. I think it will in time. Right now, we're setting up for a double top, which I don't like. But we'll see what happens. AMD. Microsoft is definitely one of my favorite techs right now. AMD had a ferocious move up today of 7.7% to 96.60. We're back. It's hard to believe we're back to that 100 level on AMD. We went way down, didn't we?
Yeah.
50 or even lower. AMD, NVIDIA, those are the only two semiconductor stocks to be in, I think.
Yeah, I know.
This one was a low of 50.
Intel wasn't one of my best picks.
No, it's yesterday's best pick, not today's.
Right. Well, I thought with the chips bill that they would be the big beneficiary.
I mean, it didn't have a shabby day today, though. Did not.
It's not bad.
Had a pretty damn good day today. Anything else you want to
Well, we
see?
have
Apple.
ARX is a
Apple.
request. Sorry. Good.
Is there any other tech?
Apple, could you take a look at Apple, please?
Which one? Apple?
Yes.
I've been eating organic Golden Delicious apples. I kind of like them.
Well, take a bite out of the apple. They're all doing the same thing. They're all like, they're all topping to a local max.
Yes, we have to break this. We have to break through. It's nice that it's back up there, but we got to break through.
Yeah.
For Apple, we must take out this high of about 165, 164.26 from 912. We take that out, we could be on the way to new highs. So anything is possible with this market. This market that we're in now, the general market, we could easily crash to 300 SPY, or we could keep going on the upside all the way to new highs. Anything is possible. Apple has held up incredibly well, don't you think?
Yes.
Incredibly well. Let's see where the high is. The high is back here somewhere. I can't see it. It's up here somewhere. Come down. All right, here we are. The high is around 182. We're not that far off the highs at 155. So Apple has been an amazing performer. It did dip kind of low, but I think if anything's going to hold its value, it's Apple, and it's proven it over time. Never bad to own some Apple or add to your Apple. Apple is one stock you don't sell unless you want to refurbish your home or buy a second home or something like that. Keep your Apple. What else? Anything else?
Well, we have requests for ARDX and PLX.
ARDX?
ARDX.
I keep buying this one because it keeps going up, so I keep buying it. That's the only reason I keep buying it, because as long as it keeps going up, I figure why not? We're at resistance. So it's got to it's got to get through that 410 area. Otherwise, it's going to back down a little. 415 has to be taken out. We actually have a triple top.
I guess tomorrow's going to be a big day for a lot of these stocks, huh?
Yeah, I mean, ARDX has been kind to me. Um, it's the promise of more and more scripts on a daily basis. They're delivering. Have a good product. If you have a good product, you're going to sell it, whether it's drugs or anything else, right? I guess it looks strong. The bottom looks like it's in. It's got a bottom at 343. I don't think it's going to, fill that gap unless it's tornado hits or something. I don't know. It'd have to be something extraordinary to get it to come back down there. I guess the SPY 300 would do the trick, but short of that, looks pretty solid. What was the other one?
PLX.
PLX. I'm not in that one. Maybe I should be, but I'm not in it. Can't be in all of them.
No.
We have a little downtrend that just started. How low can it go? Well, I think the key is the pivot at 175. If it breaks that, it's probably be a seller. You can't stay with these things forever. It does look like it has good support at that area. The old resistance is 175, and that could very well be the new support. So, key area. Meanwhile, we're going down for a while. I don't know exactly when it turns around, but the sooner the better if you own this one. I would draw the line right in here for a possible turnaround, which we hit today, around $2, which is where it's at after hours. I think it's at a pretty important level, $2 level. If it fails, then we might fill this gap at about $1.87. So I have a couple of key numbers here: $1.87, $2, and 175 on PLX. Is that it? We're done?
I have a request. This one we haven't done in a while. CMPS.
CM. It's in a trading range, the well-defined trading range.
It looks like it's bottoming.
Up and down on that trading range. You can see it in a second. There's the top of the trading range, bottom of the trading range. Extremely well-defined. You buy it towards the bottom and sell it towards the top. It's a beautiful yo-yo stock,
Yeah.
And this has been going on all the way since 4/26/22, about a year. You could be doing this for a year straight, making money. There was only one period of about 2 months, 3 months maybe, where it was trading higher, never traded lower. But it sure does like this trading range. If it ever breaks out of it, it would be you jump in, with, So if you short it up near the top, and you're wrong, just change your position to long.
Right.
Quickly. That's
looks like a good time to buy this one.
Good time to buy it probably was just 4 trading days ago at around 3.
Yeah, well, I know, but it looks like it's rounding.
Well, 4 days ago, it was good to buy almost any stocks.
Yes, that's true. And now we have a nice engulfing. Is that an engulfing candle? I can't see. No, not quite.
No, not.
Close. Just let's call it a nice candle.
Yeah, it's certainly giving that nibble sign.
Yeah. It's more towards the bottom of the range than it is towards the top. So I'd be a buyer as opposed to a seller. Or stay out, one or the other.
There you go.
Any other interesting ones that you want to look at?
Can we take a quick look at Amazon?
Sure. Amazon broke 100 today, didn't it?
Yep.
See, that's the thing. Is it going to continue or is it going to head south?
Well, it depends on the market tomorrow. If the market is up, it'll continue. If it's down, it'll give some back. I kind of think it'll be down tomorrow, but I could be wrong.
I think it's going to be green tomorrow.
You do?
Yeah.
If it's down tomorrow, the market, 97 would be 98 to add, and if it's up, it might want to close the gap here. It may want to fill the gap up there.
Gentlemen, I'm going to have to bail on this meeting because I have something else coming.
All right, we're going to end anyway. 112 is the upside target on Amazon. Probably 112 plus, but at least 112. So we have an upside target. The downside target would be this pivot right here at $88, which is about pretty symmetrical, right? A little bit more upside than downside, the way I see it, slightly. 112, 12 points, 88, the other way around. The other way around. 12 points, no, same 12 points either direction. Got the coin? Who's got the coin? Either $88 or 112. Good swing trade. They just don't know which way to swing it. My tendency is to go up, so I swing it up. But if you're negative on the market, swing it down. It's a good swing trade, 50 even money bet, right? That's how I see Amazon. Even money at this point. All right, that doesn't say much. No help? Not much help. Right, Kamal? It's not much help if I'm saying even money. Well, thanks, Curtis. Thanks, Andrew. Thanks, Linus, for coming and finding us today. Thanks to all you viewers who take the trouble to tune in. And Andrew, you have a good week also. And Kamal, but I'm going to go with you up tomorrow. I'm changing my forecast up tomorrow. Why be pessimistic? There you are. Why be pessimistic? I'll go along with your thinking. Update.
Well, usually when you have a green Thursday, usually the Friday after is also.
That's true. So we're gonna go for a Kamal Friday. Have a good weekend. Ciao.
Take care. Bye.